going, guys? I'm Jonathan from The New Divide. I'm here with Aaron, our lead guitarist, and we're just going to do kind of a rig rundown, have him explain his signal path and his pedals and the kind of gear he uses. Aaron,
Yep.
Let's start out with what kind of guitar you're using.
Cool. Yeah, so honestly, nothing special. I get asked about this guitar all the time, and I always give them the answer of it's a Frankentelly because it's Frankenstein together. It's just a bunch of parts. The guy I bought it from, who bought it from a guy, who probably bought it from a guy. It was already sanded off, so that could be a Squire neck. Not really sure, to be honest with you.
Doesn't feel like a
But
Squire
there's some
neck.
real
Feels
Fender
pretty
tuners on the back, so that,
good. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, it's toured for eight years now with me, and prior to that, I don't know. I put in a Seymour Duncan JB bridge pickup here, pretty high output pickup, which is great for the rock and roll. This neck cleans up real nice, so it works out for worship if you blend the two. These pots need to be redone.
Looks like a lot of the hardware needs to be redone.
So nothing too special on the old guitar front.
Not bad, not bad.
So after that, then we come into the pedal board. And I get a lot of questions about some of the pad sounds that I make while we're doing worship, things like that. And I have somewhat of a, maybe a little more untraditional board in the sense that, like, I don't necessarily run so much overdrive pedals. I do, like, mostly amp overdrive. But, so first we go into a tuner. Pretty important.
I'd say.
And then my second pedal in the chain would be my compression. It's a JHS Pulp and Peel. If you don't know JHS, they are a company in Kansas City. And they started, I don't know, at least 8 years, maybe 8 years ago, about just, they hand make every pedal. They're definitely a boutique company that is blown up by now. They're
probably the
huge.
biggest one now.
Yeah, yep, definitely. So I have it set pretty light. Compression's just kind of right up the middle. I'm not actually trying to hear compression. I'm just trying to basically level out some of the lead lines I play in when I'm picking out chords. Everything just kind of gets leveled out. Stuff gets taken down. Stuff gets put up. Just a nice little cleaner upper, so to speak, because I'm such a sloppy guitar player. Next, we go right into this volume pedal. I've been on a volume pedal quest for, well, ever since I started playing guitar. I've ran through a lot of different ones, Morley, the VPs, what did I have before this? It was the Goodrich. Finally landed on this guy.
What brand is it?
This one is the Hilton Pro, and they're not passive, so you actually have to have a 9-volt for that, but it doesn't use a potentiometer. It uses like a laser, basically. And so you don't have any pots that are going to go bad. There's no strings in there that are going to break, like the VP strings, things like that. So it's all optical, which is awesome. It costs a lot of money for a volume pedal. But finally, I've landed on this, and it's good. So then we come in, and we actually hit this pocket drive, which is a Matthews Effects pedal. Matthews Effects is out of Richland, Washington, which is Eastern Washington. Another little boutique company that when I first found them, kind of just come onto the market. They're starting to gain some traction and kind of blow up. He's doing really good stuff. His name is Rick.
Matthews.
Yeah, his name is Rick. Really awesome dude. Pocket drive is a very light overdrive that's totally pretty transparent. I don't want any color. I like the color of my amp, so I just kind of left it at that. And then right after that, we hit into a boost, which is the Aristocrat, which again is a Matthews Effects pedal, which is actually, he doesn't make those anymore. I'm sure if you requested one, he would. Just a basic boost, MOSFET boost. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about a boost. It gets louder. And then after that, we are running right into the Organizer. The Organizer is an octave generator made by Earthquaker Devices. They are out of Ohio, another great boutique company.
Another really big one.
Yeah, another big one.
They're doing well.
Yeah, and honestly, like their price points are on point.
Pretty good.
They really are. So this, again, octave generator, it's supposed to kind of mimic more of like an organ-style sound, which, I mean, your other big one would be like the Micropog. Great octave generator, but for me it's a little too metallic-y. This is way more kind of has like the analog warble to it. If you want to get rid of the warble, you can. But
this one's more compact too.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little more compact, which is awesome. I'm all about compact. And then after that, we have the TC Electronic Nova Delay, which is a Danish company. I actually last year got to go visit their headquarters in Aarhus, Denmark. They were super awesome. I had a problem with one of the other pedals I had, and they just swapped them out for me. They were really cool. TC Electronic is used live, but it's mostly used in the studio for like my digital delays. It does digital delays. It does analog modeled delays, tape delay. You can save up to 9 presets on it. Reverse delay, stereo, it does all of it.
Yeah, they're really good for the price too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like, I think maybe $250 or something, which for a delay that does this much, it's great. It sounds pretty good. Yeah, I use that in the studio a lot because you can dial in your BPM right on target. And then we go into the Brigadier, the Strymon. Strymon is a company from California, another unbelievable boutique company. They are doing things right, in and out, top to bottom. Everything is the best components you can possibly think of. These are like, you could put these on the studio desk and mix with them if you wanted. So they're pristine for sure. This is, in my opinion, an underrated analog delay. It just sounds, the mod on it sounds so lush. And it doesn't get like crazy when you turn it all the way up. It's not like this crazy weird mod that sounds horrible.
And what are you using the foot knob for?
Oh, and I have it on this. I have this big foot knob I put on there on the mod just so I can kind of get more or less a lot easier because in the middle of sets I'll be turning that up and down all the time. I use that basically as much as I can. After that, we then run into the Ibanez AD9, which is just a classic analog delay. Doesn't have a tap tempo or anything. I just use it sometimes for different textures, whatever. After that, we run into the Blue Sky, which the Blue Sky is my reverb. Great reverb. It can kind of.
Is that your only reverb?
It is my only reverb. Kind of, you can have set a favorite switch. So basically, I have on my normal switch, I have just a big room. The favorite, I have a shimmer verb set up. And after that, we actually hit the Ditto Looper. The Ditto Looper is also a TC Electronic pedal. It's just one knob, one switch. You can loop for 5 minutes, an unlimited amount of layers that you add onto it. And this is what I use a lot to make those pads. I use the delay, this reverb, a lot of this organizer to create layers that I'll add on top of each other in a certain key, and then I loop that, and then that plays through the whole song. And then we have a little favorite switch. It's a little cupcake. It's just a favorite switch for the analog delay.
Okay.
It's nothing crazy. And after that, this is second to last. It's just a mute switch, which is after everything. So if my delay and reverb are trailing out like crazy, I kill it for really tight cuts. And then my last thing is just a little buffer. This is mine buffer. It was like $30 or whatever. So buffered going in with the compressor, buffered going out, and I'm sure some other stuff on here is buffered, but buffered going out because I have 20 feet of cable on each side, so that kind of reboosts the signal. And then underneath there are 2 power supplies. There's the Voodoo Labs pt2 Plus or P2 Plus, whatever it's called, and then the digital one. The digital one does a lot higher amperage for the Strymon pedals, which need like 300 milliamps per pedal. So
yeah, they're crazy. And then are you using lava cable for your
yes, and yeah, we
cables?
are. Everything's getting chained together with lava cables. The lava tightrope keeps everything super tight. Obviously, you can see I have a lot of pedals jam-packed on there. We fly a lot, so I kind of had to get as many pedals onto one board as I possibly could without going crazy.
Right.
And then after a bunch of cable, we then run into this is my main amp. Is the Soldano Astroverb 16. I actually ended up trading an Orange Rocker Verb 30 for this, just here in Portland, and I got it probably about maybe two and a half years ago, and it's flown for the last 2.5 years. I just check it under the plane in this hard case. Been rock solid.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's a 20 watt amp. Really basic. You just have your preamp, level. You have a spring reverb, which I do not ever use because I have the Blue Sky. Bass, middle, treble, and then your master volume, and then just a presence. And no effects loop. It's just a basic one-channel amp that I then run into this 212 cabinet, which is a Splawn. And Splawn is a company out of North Carolina. And they build a lot of kind of like Marshall Plexi style amps, stuff like that. But this cab, they load Eminence. They call them big block or small block. It's basically their kind of custom speaker that they got built for them specifically by Eminence. So
Nice.
just Baltic birch, and it's a great just
It's got a really
standard
nice
cabinet.
finish on it too. I like the,
Yeah, I kind of
the
had
wrap.
a custom, white Tolex with that cloth or whatever. So
It's got this funky one handle in the middle.
yeah, kind of
Makes
funny,
it really
kind of
weird
funny
to
design, kind of hard to
carry
carry
around.
But then
sounds
also,
great,
I
though.
wanted to say on the Soldano, they're a company out of Seattle. So they build out of Seattle, North Carolina. These are all, hand-built boutique companies. And I think that's it. And that's kind of
Sweet.
what the New Divide, or I do, to get the New Divide to sound what it does in the electric guitar department.
Them sweet solo licks.
And then